Good morning, folks. Kirk here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today, what we have in store to show you folks is an old color coat. Now, this color coat was probably Silverado back in 1926. We're in 2011 now, obviously, and this color coat was applied about 80 years ago. I asked them, what year was the house, when was it built? And they said 1926. I said, how long have you lived here? And they said the color coat's been here for forever, since they built the house, which means about 1926 La Habra. If you Google La Habra color charts, it'll say 1926 is when they originally started, within a year or two. And Western colors started around 1932. Don't quote me on that, because give or take a year or two. So this particular color coat is applied, again, a good 80 years ago. Now, I'm going to take you around the house and I'm going to show you some things that I find pretty fascinating when it comes to original color coats. I'll give you a quick example. Say, for example, if I'm charging $10,000 to pressure wash this and color it, and they get a bid for $8,000 to paint the whole house. What's the better deal? Well, if this has already lasted 80 years and it does not come off, it's a better deal to color coat it. If you pay $8,000 to paint it, well then every 8 years you're going to be repainting it. So it's always a better idea to go with the color coat over a color coat, especially one that's this nice. This is one of the older ones that I've seen, but this is a great video as far as to show an idea of the longevity of these. I want to show you a couple other things of this one. You'll probably have to stand in this corner over here, Jay, to grasp this. Okay. Now, well, shoot over there to that downspout. Notice the color. Real dark right here, and then it's very light right here. Well, that joint leaked, and the water came here and bleached it out. This marking here where the water came off of the eaves and hit the ground, it hit here, it bleached that out. Now, over here, you have the same issue. And then they had vines crawling up the house. The water kind of bleached this out too. And over 80 years, it will do that. But this finish will never come off. That's the beauty of a color coat, maintenance free. Originally, we weren't certain if it was Eldorado or silver gray. We're going to color coat this with Eldorado. Now this variation here is work that they've done that they just tried to match the color. Anyway, I can tell that because I know what I'm looking at. But the bleach marks from an existing color coat are different from marks of original work. Plus I can see where they dabbed their floats right here. These square patches, those are obvious float marks. Last thing I'll show you guys real quick. You'll probably want to stand down there, Jay. Is the rear of the house. Again, they did these brand new windows and doors, beautiful windows and doors, so we're going to set some staging here. We're going to color coat the entire house. When we get to that stage, there's a lot of prep work today, so when we get to that stage, whether it's next week, we'll show you how we apply a maintenance-free finish over this maintenance-free finish. And no, this time we do not need to apply Weldcrete, because our new finish will adhere by suction. As soon as we wet this wall and we put the new coat on, suction will adhere that properly, and it will last. This one's been here 80 years, the next one can last 100 years or two, but it will fade eventually, just as it did on the rear. Don't confuse the fading here. This is new work to the fading I was trying to show you earlier. Alright, lastly guys, everything's pressure washed. We've set scaffold. These stress cracks right here where it's bulging, I put a Sikaflex in here. And I'm going to put fiber mesh tape and I'm going to float it with Portland cement over this finish prior to our new finish. Is that going to stop this wall from re-cracking? Absolutely not. But it's a good method to take for longevity as best it can, because we wanted to do this where it wouldn't crack. Well, we'd have to tear the whole wall off. The stucco is butted into the foundation, which there's no expansion. And then, to make matters worse, the concrete is poured against that. We have a 4-inch slab. We have 1 inch of stucco. There's nowhere for it to go. We are on a hill. It's about an 80-year-old home, and this hill, some garbage trucks are going by, big trucks, so it's going to move. And you do the best you can with what you have to work with, but I never tell folks, gee whiz, we're going to do this and you're never going to get a crack here again. That's impossible. If somebody says that, hire somebody else. Anyhow, we're going to color code in a few days from now. We're done with everything I've got except for patching in the rest of these. We'll see you guys when we get ready to color. Kirk here, Kirk Giordano Plastering. Show you the wrap pack before we lose all our energy toward the end of the day. On this particular house, we're going to do a 20-30 finish. That's what they have right now. We're just going to spruce it up a little bit. While we're going through the whole thing, we'll show you how we're doing it. Jake's on camera, my brother's next in. You'll see all of us applying this color finish when we're at that stage. Well guys, the way we're doing is Jake's on the camera, Jason's on the camera, Jake's spreading down here, Tim's spreading that little piece up there where we can't, well, a lot of ways to do that, but this is the way we decided to do it. You guys notice one thing different from all of my previous videos. There's no weldcrete on this house. There doesn't need to be. It's already a maintenance-free finish. It's 80 years old, so our color coat adheres right to it by suction. We hose the walls down, saturate them a little bit. Then when we put this on, ready to go. Tim up there is sweating as usual. That means he's working hard. Alright guys, Jason is loading up the staging. One thing about loading, unloading, and setting, dismantling scaffold, you have to have two things. You have to have the strength and intelligence. And I'm talking about alert intelligence. A lot of things can go wrong. Jason has the strength and actually competes in all these Tough Mudder contests. Running 10 miles, going through swamps, things like that. And when we took our EPA lead class, he was the first one to finish and got them all right. The rest of us were far behind. It's Friday. He's actually finished loading this truck even before we finished our color, so it just shows the energy level, and of course it is Friday.
Yeah, about that time. Glad to be done.
Yeah, it was a tough week. Okay guys, we are complete. I'm going to walk you around and show everything. See how light it is here and dark? This is dry. This is drying up. Anyway, follow me around, Jay, and we'll show the rest of the house. Tim, Jake, these guys, phenomenal plasters. Anyway, follow me over here. We got done a little bit early. I told them if we finished early, I'd buy them some beer. Anyway, we got this here. Follow me around here. Our rules for cleanup are real simple. Leave the house better than you found it. Can't get much simpler than that. And if you step somewhat back there, Jay, you should be able to get the whole thing in. Now when all this dries, we just finished this rear. When all of this dries, it's going to be a lot lighter like this. Some folks see it and say, oh, I love it when it's dark. Some folks panic and go, oh, it's too dark, but it is whatever the color sample shows. Anyhow, I thank you folks for watching us do this. This was a fun project because it was a color coat maintenance-free finish that was on here previously. To put another one over it, not too often that we find these 80-year-old color finishes. Anyhow, my name is Kirk. I am with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Thank you folks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.